anyone that uses an umbrella in Ireland wants to make some sort of sacrifice to some sort of wind deity. Hi everyone, I'm the Rum.
And I'm the Wine.
We're an expat couple living here in Dublin, Ireland, originally from Barbados and Austria. We moved about 3 years ago to this wonderful country and decided, let's make a channel. On this channel, what we do is we make videos for expats like you and people who are thinking about moving to Dublin, so you get to know what it's like, what the process is, and of course when you get here, how to settle in and thrive.
And we don't just do videos, we also do some other cool resources. So make sure to check the description for all of those.
So if any of that sounds interesting, please do subscribe. We make videos twice a week. For today's video, we're going to talk about the 6 mistakes to avoid when moving to Ireland. By the way, if you hear any noise during the video, that's our neighbour deciding to drill holes in the wall at.
Constantly! It's not like there's one IKEA thing they've been failing to build, it's just like...
Yeah, we'll be back.
Spinning out of control.
Number 1, of course, is thinking that Dublin is Ireland. Dublin and the rest of Ireland are not the same. Don't come to the people's country thinking that because you've had this experience in Dublin, this is how the rest of the country is. Sure, there are other cities such as Cork and Galway, but each of them has their own unique experience, and especially when you go further into the countryside, it's like another world altogether. We're talking about the city, bustling life of Dublin, and then comparing it to a place that's a lot more tranquil when you're just there, surrounded by nature, steeped in history and calm. A nice farmer putting out stuff to graze, that's what you're gonna get. Sorry, we all have this idyllic little countryside thing, and the thing is that in Dublin, it's like a thing that you remember. You go to the rest of Ireland, it's real. Something that you enjoy. I can almost breathe in and let it restore and reset your soul. I know, I've talked to
FYI, this video is not sponsored by Visit Ireland. These are all our own opinions.
Yeah, it's just that it's been kind of winter. I'm getting kind of a bit tired of the same city scene. So going outside into the countryside, we're ready for the sunlight to get better, it to be warmer so we can do that once again. So that's one of the main things. Dublin city, other parts, a lot more countryside feeling.
So another common mistake we see a lot is underestimating the time it takes to commute places. I know, Ireland is a very small country in comparison to other places, and Dublin seems like a small city, but trust me, I'm from a village, and probably all the other people out there listening to this video that are also from small places know that just because you're from a small country doesn't mean you just jump off a bus and you're immediately at a city. Usually in the outer parts, public transport isn't that reliable, especially if you don't really have that many established railway lines, like is the case in Ireland. And also in Dublin, that's where actually we see the mistake happen the most of the time, that people think, oh, places are so much cheaper in one of the surrounding smaller towns, I'll just move there. And on Google Maps they might look like the commute is actually not that bad.
3 hours later?
Yeah, once you add like actual real life traffic, particularly rush hour traffic to it, that commuting time's just... So what we would advise that if you're thinking about moving to an area, if you have the time and the opportunity, the ideal thing would be if you can try to actually catch a bus or the train or where you're going to commute from there to your workplace during rush hour or around rush hour traffic whenever you would start working. That will actually give you the best idea. So every time you're trying to plan your commute, plan in maybe 10-20 extra minutes from what you see in Google Maps to get an idea of what it really would be like during rush hour traffic. Even more if you have to cross Dame Street or O'Connell Bridge in those areas.
The third mistake is expecting everyone to sound like a stereotypical leprechaun. No one out here actually says top of the morning unless you're watching YouTube on Jacksepticeye. People talk like normal people. Ireland, like every other country, each area has its own different accent. There's a Dublin accent. Hey, even within Dublin, there are different accents. People from Galway and Cork speak differently, just like how you would have in the Caribbean, every single country, as well as parts of Austria. Yeah, all of Austria, you know.
Fun fact, there's even an area called Donegal, which is kind of cut off by Northern Ireland, which is kind of like Vorarlberg in Austria, which is cut off from the rest by the mountains. And just like Austrians can't understand people from Vorarlberg really, it seems Irish people can't understand people from Donegal either.
Yeah, it just takes a wee bit more concentration. And that's one of the things that you really have to get used to. It's not a completely different language, but definitely from a native speaker of English myself, it took a little bit of time. I would have probably tried to immerse myself into more Irish media, like maybe some Father Ted before coming.
Derry Girls?
Oh, especially Derry Girls. Yeah, if you can watch Derry Girls without any subtitles, you're grand.
So another common mistake we see is the assumption that Ireland is like the UK. First of all, if you tell it to an Irish person, they're gonna get really mad. And
I'm gonna get mad on their behalf.
Yes. And second of all, it's not true. Sure, there's a part of the island of Ireland, not speaking about the actual countries, but just the island. Sure, there's a part that does belong to the UK. For now, that's another topic. But the Republic of Ireland itself is very different. So we don't use the pound, we use the euro. We're still part of the EU. The UK, not really anymore, however that Brexit thing is going. Also, some people have actually told me, oh, they want to go to Ireland because it's so great, you have the NHS. You
sorry,
don't, that's a British
part.
thing, so you're in the wrong part of Ireland. It's Northern Ireland you're thinking about. The Republic of Ireland does not have the NHS, they have their own healthcare services. So there are some obvious differences like that, but there are also some cultural differences. Like obviously the UK has influenced the Ireland structure of everything a lot, so you have like the way the school system is arranged, things like that. But culturally, Ireland is very unique. The accents are very unique, the way they do the literature, the films, TV series, the sense of humour, all of that is very unique to Ireland and quite a bit different, I would say, to the UK. Point number 5 on the list is thinking that finding accommodation is easy and will be done quickly. Yeah, no, unfortunately not. We wish it were the case, but especially in Dublin, unfortunately there is a housing crisis, so finding accommodation is anything but easy. It takes a lot of preparation, and to be honest, in our opinion, you should treat it like a job interview. Write to a lot of places that you're sure that if you went there you actually would want to take this place. Expect a lot of them will reject you or never even respond to you, just like when you apply to jobs in a very competitive city like Dublin. And also when you do get the interview, aka a viewing for a place, make sure you bring all your documents, you have your pay slips, everything ready, so that if you are really interested in the place, you can make a move immediately and make sure the landlord or real estate agents who are arranging the viewing know exactly how much you want the place.
And for point 6, I'm gonna come a little bit closer to the camera. You'll see my lovely visage for this. Umbrellas. People using umbrellas. Number 1, my personal opinion that anyone that uses an umbrella in Ireland wants to make some sort of sacrifice to some sort of wind deity, because it's not going to last. The wind is going to take it, rip it out of your hands and send it to another dimension I like to call down the street. It is very windy here. I don't understand. Every day I see people, when it's really windy and rainy, you know, trying to struggle under this little umbrella. The wind, you know, blowing it out beyond disrepair. If you're coming here, I prefer something, you know, normal, like some waterproof clothing, shoes, anything like that. You could buy a cheap umbrella because it's not really gonna last.
Or, you know, just buy a rain jacket. Like, that's how you spot the real locals who've been living here for a while and have been like, I've been through too many umbrellas. This ends here, I'm buying a rain jacket and that's it.
So now that you've been informed, I hope we don't see anyone committing any of these 6 mistakes. However, what you can do is please do subscribe, leave any comments. What are some, you know,
other mistakes we may have not mentioned, but even some mistakes we may have committed? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, sure. No, don't all rush at once, you know, I'm an imperfect person. But until our next video, we'll see you later. Bis später.
Bye!